So I asked you guys to figure out how you're going to draw a line from there to there, and I gave you a hint, and I used the wrong word. I said evaluate. The correct word is analysis. And so under curve, in the analysis panel, if you take a look in there, you'll find something that says endpoints. Okay? And if you click on endpoints and you drop that on your screen, what you're going to find is that you can get the endpoints of any arc or any curve. So if you take the arc curve that's coming out of here and you feed it into here, right, it's going to give you the start and end point of that line. All right, so that's a new function that you guys haven't used before, right? But now you have start and end, and it creates the line between the 2 points using that. Okay? All right, so you guys drew this already once, right? And we talked about drawing the lines of latitude, right? So that basically they would be every 15 degrees. So what in Rhino, what did you do next? Well, no, in Rhino you didn't divide the points. You basically drew a line and then you basically copy rotated it until you had enough lines, right? And then you found the endpoints of those lines and went across. Now, you guys are on to a better way of doing it in Rhino. Again, this is going to take the curve and divide it up, right? So you guys are absolutely right if you're talking about divide curve, which we have used before. All right, so drop divide curve down and read the components for it. So the curve that you're trying to divide, which of these components is the curve that you're trying to divide? The arc. So we'll take the arc and we'll put it right there. And it's divided it. Now remember, it's divided it up based on the whatever the inherent count is that's in there. That may not be the count that we want. So I'm going to give you guys a minute and I'll let you guys decide what should the count be if we want it to be if we want the lines of longitude or lines of latitude to be every 15 degrees. What's 180 divided by 15? Somebody get a calculator. Take 180 divided by 15. Okay, so try that. Right? Is this 180 degrees? And if we want that to be every 15 degrees, so put in a number slider for the count or put in a value of the count. Make it a number slider. That way you can make an adjustment. So I'm going to say divide from 2 and maybe 24 at the maximum side. Right? And so if I plug in 2, right, it splits it takes and divides the arc into 2 pieces. Right? If I kick this thing up to 12, right, it gives me all those endpoints. Okay? So now, what do we do next? How do we find the center point to draw the lines of latitude from, or the arcs of latitude, the circles of latitude? How do I find, right, that point over there? Nope. I'm going to give you guys a hint. There is a tool that will allow you to take a point and project it to something else as long as you give it a vector for the direction of projection. So see if you guys can find that component. It's not list. Nope. I said the word when I was talking right now. What's that? Possibly. Ask yourself what you're trying to project. What is the thing that we're trying to project? They're points, right? So that gives you a clue. So the tool you're looking for is called project point. Okay? So project point. So now I'm going to let you guys figure out where to plug in project point and find out what it's asking for. It's asking for three things: points as a list, the direction, and the geometry. Now direction we did the first day of class. I taught you guys how to type in a vector, remember? All right, so that's what you're trying to get right there. The long way around, which Yuji figured out, I think she's the only one that did, is she took each of these points and deconstructed it, then reconstructed it with the z being 0, right? That's the long way, because basically you have to take every point, deconstruct it, and then reproject it back. This other method that we're using right now, right, just uses the project tool. But I'm trying to get you guys to refer back in your memory, okay, to how do you define a vector? What direction do you need the points to be projected in? All right, so I'm going to wander around and take a look at that. All right, folks, so we're making some progress here, okay? So we know that we have a center point for a circle, and we know that we have the radius of the circle, because one circle is going to go up here, one circle will go there, another one will go there. Now, here's the question. How do we go about constructing circles at those points in this direction? All right? So that's going to be your next task. So here, I'm going to just show you what it's supposed to look like in Rhino. So circle. It's supposed to look like that, right? And then there's supposed to be another one that might be up here and go to that point. Okay? So now, so what do? How do we construct this sequential set of circles, right, going up? James, did you have a question?
I just wanted to see if my definition was right for that.
Oh, I'll come look at it. Okay, so some of you are proceeding with that. I'm going to stop this video here and we'll pick it up in the next one.